Today we're going to look into the trades that we took over the week. What were our biases, why we took those trades, and how we're able to achieve these maximum profit on the forex market.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so we're gonna begin with what we call the XAU USD, which is gold. All right, gold made a lot of ups and downs this whole week. Uh, there were people that were thinking that gold is gonna go into a dip like it did the previous week. People were expecting gold to continue to dip. Unfortunately, gold gave us a bit of a range in because in as much as gold will continue to dip within this week, it gave us a little bit of an up down kind of trade. It didn't go the way it went for us. That was last week where gold continued to dip all the way from 1936 to somewhere 1913. All right. This week it's been a different ball game. This week we've seen that gold started making the buyers started making a little bit of showing a little bit of strength, and then the sellers also trying to suppress gold down. But however, regardless, we were able to make something out of the market due to the knowledge and skill and experience that we have been able to acquire over our past forex market. I keep saying that knowledge is the most important thing when it comes to the forex market. Not just knowledge, you also need what we call experience. That is why I advise that if you're a newbie and you are just making a little bit of profit, don't be so excited because you are yet to meet the bittersweet aspect of trading. Now trading has two forms. There are times that you will think that you are the best on the market, and there are times that the market will show you that there is a lot more for you to learn. All right. And so, yes, without talking so much or without wasting much time, let's zoom into what we are here for today. All right. So I'm gonna first start with XAUUSD, which is gold. What were my biases? Why I took the positions that I took on XAUUSD this week. All right. So this week we had a straight clean shot on gold. Four clean shot on gold this week, which was a very perfect one. And I'm gonna explain how we're able to come up with such a beautiful result this week. All right. So stay with us. Let's dip deep right down into it now. All right, so if you're watching me for the first time, hit on the subscribe button. This is the Global Forex Trader. Um, if this is your first time, make sure you join our channel on Telegram for a free signal. We for now it is free. All right, so it's best to make money on our free signals at the moment. I mean, it's best to start taking the free signal and then start making the money now. And then when the time comes for you to pay for signals, you'll be able to pay. All right, so let's go straight into the video. So, what was I looking this week? All right, what was I looking at this week? So we'll play back a little bit. Let's play back. Let's play back a little bit. Now, let's assume that price was at this point, which was a very critical point. This is a very critical point of the market because it is a resistance area. Now, this is not just any resistance area, it is a very key resistance area where if you zoom backwards, you realize that price has been bouncing downwards over the past years anytime market gets to that point. All right. And so what it tells you is that this is a place that market is likely to make some reversals at that point. All right, that is what it will tell you. So what do you do now? A lot of traders at this angle we'll be looking at taking a sell right at this point. But let's not forget that with my strategy, anytime market touches a particular key resistance zone twice, I assume that particular zone to be a weak zone. Now, what do we see here? We realize that market touch here, and then market gave us another beautiful touch around this particular area. And so if I was the one trading on this one, I will assume this market to be a market that has um lost, or a point that has lost its strength, and so I would ignore such area. Now let's see what happened. So yes, just as I said, market did touch here twice, and so this was a very weak resistance zone, and so market broke that particular zone. Now this is where it gets interesting. With my strategy, anytime market break a particular key resistance zone, what do we expect for? We expect that market will come back and revisit that particular, to test that particular zone, if indeed that particular zone was a very critical zone for the market. If it was, then the zone now turns into what we call a demand zone, or what people call a supply zone, where market will bounce back. So now it changes from a resistance to a demand or a supply zone, where it is going to bounce price back upwards. All right, so let's see what happened. Now this is where it gets interesting. As a trader, you need to look for an opportunity around this particular areas. All right, so let's see what happened. Now market came back down into that particular into that particular so this was the resistance zone that got broken. Now we expect that market will come and test that particular resistance zone and give us a beautiful raise upside down, and then this is what happened. So we have our trigger ready for it. Market got into the resistance zone, just as I talked about, which is now a demand zone, because once market breaks a resistance zone, it fails to become a resistance again, and market will come back to test that particular zone, making it a demand or a supply zone. And that is exactly what happened. Now market tested it, and boom, there we go. So if you were part of our community, you would have enjoyed this whole profit. That is about 1:5. 1:5. This is a crazy one, a very crazy profit to have been made on gold. All right. Now let's see. Regardless, as part of my strategy, anytime market moves to break a certain key area, all right. Now the point of movement, market forms what we call, or market breaks what we call, a certain structure. Now before market breaks those structures, we assume that market will come back to those structures to test that structure where it broke before it broke there. Like it gathers strength at the structure, all right, to be able to break the resistance. Now wherever market gathered that strength, price will come back to that point and then continue a movement to be able to break a resistance. Now market is going to test those areas again. So when we look here, you realize that this was a key structure. When you go into your 5 minute, you realize that this was a structure here that market broke to be able to break the resistance. And then we expect that market will come back to test these areas and then move upwards. So let's see what happened. And so we had our gun ready to shoot, and boom, let's see what happened. So if you're here, you just allow, retail traders, be playing along the side. Like, just allow, do not trade up against the market, just allow, and then be waiting for. So that's why I keep saying that this game is a patience game. So you have to wait for market to get to the point that you want. Yes, market tested our particular zone. At this juncture, you can choose to enter the trade. If you don't mind, you can choose to enter the trade and you make a lot of profit, because this is a very key area. Or you can also wait for market to enter deep into the zone before you enter the market. But the best thing is that sometimes market doesn't enter deep into the zone. Sometimes just kiss it and it go. So if you are somebody who doesn't fear to take risk, then it's best that you put your entry right at the um at the price entry at the our entry price, all right, so that you don't miss the opportunity. However, if you're one person that would also want to wait to have a lot of confirmations, well, you can also wait. Now that market has gotten to the point that we want it to get to, then you enter your trade and then we'll see what happened. A lot of profit, a lot of profit. Boom, 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 boom. So we made 1:3 on this market. So that is how simple and how easy my strategy is. It is all about patience, 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 patience. Now, the next thing I will realize is that market, this was also another key. This was also another key resistance area that I told you. Anytime market tests an area for twice, I assume that area to be a weak zone. So this market tested it, came down, market tested it for the second time, and the market dropped. And then the third time, what happened? It broke the key resistance area. Now we'll look for another key resistance area that market hasn't probably touched for a while, which is supposed to be here. So per my strategy, this will be another key resistance area that one person will be looking for to take your shot. And then let's see what happened. Boom, market came down straight. So this would have been a huge movement if you had taken this profit. Well, we missed this move and then we didn't take the move. And so we allowed it to go. Regardless, we also saw an opportunity using another strategy of ours to see that market broke the buy setup. All right. When you look at this setup, this is a buy setup because market was forming a higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher lows, and then higher high. And instead of it forming another higher low, what happened? Market broke it. So as part of our strategy, anytime market breaks a certain key resistance area or a certain key trend line, what happened? Market comes back to test those areas and then a move continues. And then this is what happened on this trade. That is where our biases came from, and see what happened. So market broke the key resistance or trend line for us and then came back to test it, and we had our entry right there, and boom, see what happened. This was a huge profit. Boom. There we go. We have made so much. So market broke the trend line, gave us a retest on the trend line. We entered our trade and boom, we made huge. This is 1:4. All right. Now, we also had another key buy zone here, another supply zone here that you agree with me that anytime price gets to this point, it bounces back upwards. Anytime it gets to this point, it bounces back up. Regardless, we had a certain fake breakout strategy right here, but however, market came back, tested that particular same zone again, and then there was a push upwards. All right. Now, what are we seeing? What we are seeing is that market is coming back to that same angle, and we have talked about the fact that anytime market gets to certain critical zones and the zone hasn't been touched more than twice, then you expect that zone to be a very strong zone. Now we had our first touch right here for a very long time after market broke that zone. We had our first touch here. So what do we expect? We expect that anytime market touches this particular zone, we'll have an entry and then boom. So See what happened. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. And so this was what happened over the week or over the previous week that we're able to make so much profit out of these market. Now, gold is not done yet. We are still expecting gold to be playing along a little bit for the next week. And then it continues to push downwards into sales. All right, so that is for gold. Now let's look at odd USD, Australian dollar versus the United States dollar. Now this was the only trade that we lost over the week. This was the only trade that we lost over the week. Regardless, it's still going in our favor. All right, this was the only trade that we lost over the week. So the same strategy, we broke a certain key resistant trend line. The idea was to wait for market to test the trend line and then we push down. However, we also have another strategy where anytime the strength is gathered to push or to break a certain trend line, anytime market gets to that point, it tests it and then pushes it. So we, instead of waiting for the market to test the trend line, we went in for the latter idea, and then market, however, proved that our resistance game is stronger than the other strategy, and that is what happened to us on AUD USD. Regardless, we also made beautiful profit on this one where we had market testing this key support line. All right, and I keep telling you that anytime the support line is fresh, anytime market gets to that point, the probability of market pushing upwards again is very high. So we realize that this was the very first time market tested that support line. And what do we expect? A second one would definitely push it up. Regardless, you see that when market got there the third time, what happened? Market broke that particular um, support line. So that is what I keep saying. The zone or the support or the resistance zone is stronger if market has touched it twice, or first if market has touched it once or twice. The moment is touching it the third time, you need to be very careful as a trader. You need to run away for your life. And so that was the idea in taking this trade over the week, and we had a very beautiful maximum profit. That was 1:3, almost 1:4 that was made out of this market. And so Forex, in as much as demands a lot of patience, you also need the knowledge to be able to achieve your objectives or the profit that you want to achieve on the market. And you need to also have a lot of patience. You need to also have somebody that would mentor you. Thank you so much for joining this all important, beautiful session. I'll see you again. Bye bye.